Hi, I'm Kat Northup, and this is Wine Whatevers. It's finally spring here in Helena, and that brings out not only muddy tires and sandals, but it's also Helena, so that means anything over freezing is sandal and shorts weather. It's also the beginning of the return of the great salads and light foods that we come to look forward to through the winter. In the wine world, we mark this season as the Rosé season. I know, it's rosé. It's not beer, it's not even a cold glass of white wine. It's very much a different kind of beastie. This particular wine has much to offer in the way of a fuller body than a white, but still lighter than a Cabernet or even a Pinot Noir, though some sparkling rosés or just rosés are almost as dark. Rosé can be made with just about any grape, so it's a much better pairing for food than the straight varietals or anything too specific. Rosé is made by limiting the contact the fermenting grape juice has with its skins. And the skins impart color, tannin, and a different variety of flavors to the wine. So when they're removed sooner in the process, it creates this sort of light, effervescent, more fast, more quickly available wine than you might find with higher tannic cabs or Syrahs. There's an astounding variety of rosé out there. They can vary from almost peach-colored to very dark. And they vary from very, very dry and almost sour to the cloyingly sweet soda-like fizz that we've sort of come to expect and dread. The most commonly known rosé comes from Provence, France, and it's fresh, it's beautiful, it's perfect for spring. But I wanted to explore a few different rosés today. So today I've got the Scharfenberger Rosé, which comes from California, despite its German-sounding name. We have the Gruet, which comes from New Mexico, and it's a delightfully dry wine. We have Mas, which is a cava, a sparkling cava from Spain. And that's sort of something new for me. I've not experienced that, but wanted to share it with you today. And we have the Akakis, which is a Greek sparkling wine, something kind of new to the market, but something I really fell in love with. We'll start with the Gruet. This wonderful little brute is light, it's medium in color, it's perfectly dry for caprese salad or even tuna casserole, anything that's kind of creamy and kind of fatty, but it still has enough acid to both cut right through it and complement tomatoes. The Scharfenberger is a little more light. It's beautiful, it's fresh, but it's strong. It's kind of steel under silk, I guess I would use to describe this wine. It's hefty in its own right. I would pair it with Italian cuisine or even traditional American Italian with meatballs, pasta sauce. Sort of a fun thing to explore. The Mas from Spain is really the one that stole my heart. Obviously the one that's sort of, still open. I was sort of surprised. I hear cava and I expect big bubbles, carbon dioxide infused, fun but not great. This wine presents with berries. It's fruity, it's welcoming, it is a cava in the sense that it would pair very beautifully with nuts and cheeses, a charcuterie board, either before a meal or just at a party. And I have to say, I really like sparkling rosés for parties because it adds a little bit of flair from the golden flutes of the past, or, your traditional stuffy sparkling wine or champagne. It's a little more fun, it's a little more springtime. The Akakis is kind of an interesting sparkler. It's more mainstream, which isn't something I expected from Greece. I was hoping for a different sort of experience, but it's a lovely sparkling, and I would recommend it for people who haven't tried sparkling wines very often or have only had the very cheap fizz that, again, tastes like soda. It's a good intermediary step. So if you're out and about and you're looking for something different to entertain guests with, or if you're just looking for something different, I would recommend a sparkling rosé. They're a little hard to find, but just about every wine store that I've gone into has had at least one. And they're all different with such a wide variety of personalities. You can't really go wrong pairing them with anything. So this is my pitch for springtime sparkler and springtime rosé. If you can't find a still one that suits your palate or captures your interest, bubbles are always a great bet.